Because I was brought up as a picky eater and I know how annoying it was even as an adult, and that is why I will never.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one.
Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If you're seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Aisha and I'm a YouTuber based in Abuja, Nigeria. So you guys, forgive my voice, I have kata and I have to film, okay? So I know it's not that bad. It was worse because when I talk, you couldn't even hear what I'm saying, but now it is better. So you guys, today I am going to be talking about why I will not be raising picky eaters as kids. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button, please like, please share, and please drop comments, guys. I really love it when you drop comments and the comment section is buzzing, you know. People that have not watched, they feel like, oh, there's something to watch. So let's see, because people are discussing it, okay? So you guys, I really appreciate that if you can drop more comments. Please like this video, please share, drop your opinions as well. As you guys know, most of these videos are my personal opinion. I am not enforcing my opinion. This is just my platform where I tell people how I do things and why I do them, okay? So yeah, if you would like to watch this video, please keep on watching this video. You guys, I'm going to be telling you guys my background as to my eating habits and all of that. Growing up, my mom she will ask her kids, what do you want to eat? And trust me, this woman is going to provide everything each person wants. And that time we felt like we're flexing, because if you say you want rice, like it's not as if you eat rice amala, but no. Like, let's say she wants to make rice. If one person prefers white rice, she'll remove your own and make white rice. If one person prefers jollof rice, she'll use your own to make the jollof rice, you know, that kind of thing. And we felt like, oh, her mom loves us so much. Yeah, she loves us. And that was the best way she could bring us up, because apparently she was brought up that way as well. As you eat whatever you want to eat. Nobody's going to force you to eat what you don't want to eat, you know. And I grew up like that. And when I was growing up, I didn't see it as a big deal, because you guys, I started cooking at a very, very early age. I started making proper food. By the time I'm 10, I could make like meals. So it was really not a big deal, because at the end of the day, if I didn't want to eat what my mom said I should make for the whole house, I can make whatever I want for myself, you know. So it wasn't a big deal. And when I went to school, that was like when I was in uni, my friends would think that me cooking in the hostel was because it's a flex. She just wants to, you know, cook, and it's just because I'm a very picky eater and I like what I like. What I like is what I like. That's what I'm going to eat. I'm not going to compromise and eat something else. And you guys, bear in mind that I am not allergic to anything at all. I was just brought up as a picky eater, and I was a picky eater. In fact, I am still a picky eater, but it's better now. So you guys, I remember when I went to uni, and there was a time in Zaria, the first bomb blast, my uncle had to come to school to pick me up and take me to his house. You guys, I stayed in my uncle's house for almost 2 weeks and I did not eat anything. So you guys, you know, it's a very, very different thing when you are like, oh, this environment is not neat and that is why I don't want to eat their food. That was not my case. My case was just they were not making the food the way I like it or the way I want it or something, and I did not eat. I remember I would go out in my uncle's house in the evening, go and look for those people that are selling akara and bread, and that was mostly what I had for like 2 weeks. And you guys, like, if they give me food, it's not if I'm telling them I'm not eating, no, because I eat to their children. I'll just give the children the food and pretend like I ate the food. So fast forward to when I got married, and my husband eats everything and anything. So far as food, like any type of food my husband eats, and I wasn't like that. I remember when we just got married, maybe this one comes and like, it's been a while I had beans, so can you make beans? It's not as if I can't make these meals. I can make them because obviously I've been cooking for a very long time. So my husband will be like, can you make beans? And I'll make the beans. But as I'm making beans for him, I'm probably boiling rice for myself or making spaghetti because I will not eat beans. This man will come and say, it's been a guy yam. Please make yam. If I make the yam, I am not going to eat the yam because I don't eat yam. If I make semo, I will not eat semo because I don't eat semo. That time I used to even drink the semo. I had milk and sugar to semo and make it like, you know, that agidi stick with milk. It went on for a while and I got tired because I got tired of making 2 meals for 2 people. And my husband is the type of person that, as at then, he realized that if he doesn't tell this girl what he wants to eat, she will just keep making rice, spaghetti, eba, rice, spaghetti, eba. Because that was the only thing I was eating. So he would tell me, please make this. And by the time I make it, I don't have the strength to make something else. So most times I would either order out, bring something in. Then one day, I made this food and it was very late. I couldn't order anything. I couldn't go out. So I had the food and nothing happened to me because I was quite hungry. And I was like, you're not allergic to this food. You just don't like it. Why can't you just make it the way, like maybe add your own twist to it so that you will like it, or learn how to make it in different ways. Maybe you will like it, because if you are not allergic to this food, why then can't you eat it? That was how I started eating most of this food. Bear in mind that I have been eating this food shorter than the time I've been allowed to be a picky eater. So I'm still a picky eater. I'm not the type that will jump to some food, but I eat them. And that is why I have promised myself that I will not raise picky eaters as children. What brought about this topic was I saw a post on Instagram that a page posted, and I'm going to read it out to you guys and still put it on the screen. So this person says, stop forcing your children to eat food they don't like. You too don't eat food you don't like. I will never forget the nights that I spent sitting on the table, crying, throwing up, and being forced to eat food I didn't like. It is so common we joke about it, but it is not okay. And when I saw this, I dropped a comment that said, because I was brought up as a picky eater, and I know how annoying it was even as an adult, and that is why I will never, I'm putting in my best, not let me say I will never, I'm putting in my best to make sure my kids are not picky eaters, because you guys, let's go to that. So when I dropped that comment, I shared it on my story as well, and after I read the post, it now brought me to thinking that, oh, this is why I don't want to bring up picky eaters as children. Number one, even now in my old age, there is many food I don't eat. I remember when I just got married, and whenever we go to Ilorin to visit my mother-in-law, they will make food that they will not have my own, because you don't know, Aisha might just come out and say, me Ojeo. Say, because my mother-in-law would always wonder, but she just gave me, she just left me like, maybe that's the way she is. But it is a very annoying habit to have as a human being. So far you are not allergic to the food, you should be able to eat it. I'm not saying you should eat something that looks nasty or something that looks bad, but so far the food is edible and it is tasty. It's not as if maybe the food is bad, it is not well cooked, the food looks yucky. I'm not saying that. Like, proper food that is being made, you shouldn't be a picky eater. It is annoying to have picky eaters. It is understandable that children, when they are growing, and let me give an instance for my children. When I had Zafira, I did not know better, and she practically ate. The only thing is she refused some milk, and funny enough, she took a very funny milk. Do you guys know that Cowbell used to make children's baby milk? Because I went to visit someone, and I was complaining how my child doesn't take all the milk that I buy, all this expensive milk. And she was like, have you tried Cowbell, Tina? I was like, Cowbell has baby milk. She was like, yes, try it. And you guys, I tried Cowbell for Zafira, and Zafira took it. And that was the milk she took, like, practically till she was on SMA Gold for a while before she refused it. And when I had Issa too, Issa was taking SMA and NAN or something, because that one did not refuse any milk. But when I had Iqbal practically refused to take any milk. And that's a baby. Understand, as a baby, if they refuse something, you try something else. And I kept trying, even cereal, it did not take it. And guess what, guys? My baby liked amala. Pap, that was the food that Iqbal took. That was what he liked. And in my mind, I was like, thank God. Thank God, at least this boy is eating like proper food. Now, let me now tell you guys something about giving children food. Because if you are the type of parent that's not what you brought up your children with, like, that's not what they are used to, it takes some time. Like, for an instance, now, my kids, practically all my kids, like, the first meal that they eat in their mouth, apart from pap, is either ewedu and amala or ewedu and semo. Like, it has to be that, because I give them just soup at maybe like 7 months, 6 months, 7 months. That's when I start giving them ewedu. And a child, some child as at then will refuse it, but if I kept at it, I kept giving them back to back. Like, you have to take it. This is what I have. Yoruba people say, like, growing now with my kids in the house, I have a timetable in my head that there are some things that we eat. Like, you know, the way some households, like, their kids don't like beans, their kids don't, because I post a lot of cooking videos, and that is why I'm actually doing this video again. And people will be like, oh, your children, they will not eat that. I was like, why will my children not eat it? They eat it. The only child of mine that is showing signs of being a picky eater is Issa. And let me tell you guys what I have done to stop him from being that. Okay, so whenever you give Issa food, the first thing he says is, I don't want it, I don't like it. And I'll look at him and say, whenever I give you anything, the first thing you tell me is, thank you, mommy, God bless you. That's the first thing you tell me before you even think about your emotions. Because number one, we need to teach these children gratitude. There are people outside that they don't have food. And yes, this is my own opinion, and this is how I raise my kids. I'm not telling you to raise yours like that. This is just me telling you mine. Okay? They have to learn gratitude. And now, when you give him food, he looks at it and says, and you guys, like, what I have is what I'm going to give my kid, yes. But you know that if you want your kids to actually start eating a particular meal or something, consistency is key. They are kids. Like, my own kid, you know, some people, I've seen posts like people say, if you don't give your kids sugar, they don't know what it tastes like, so they don't crave it. And that's a lie. As a human being, you know when you put something in your mouth, you can tell if it is sweet, sour, or bitter. Even if it's not really on the sugary, like, it's not that sugary, but they know when something is yummy in their mouth. So there are some kids that actually like sour. I have Zafira here that would sit down and eat a whole cucumber. Zafira asked for garden egg. Even me, her mother, I don't really like garden egg because it's bitter. And that's not food. You know, like, when you want to give them something, you introduce it gradually and you're consistent at it. Like, you keep at it, you keep giving them. Like, my children now, in a week, this is the way we do it. Like, yesterday now, when they came back from school, they had beans and plantain for dinner. Today, they are definitely going to have swallow for dinner. That's the way I mix it up. Like, a meal, then swallow, a meal, then swallow, then a meal and swallow. You know, like interchange it, because I believe that they've gone to school with like serere, the macaroni, rice, spaghetti, and they should come home and eat like proper meals. That is how I do it for my kid. I remember that there was a time that Issa would say he doesn't want to eat fish. Now, let me tell you guys something. Protein is very important for kids, but I don't force you. If you are the type of child that say you don't want to eat beef, you don't want to eat chicken, you don't want to eat fish, so far you're eating food, that food will enter your system and do what it needs to do. But you see, if you tell me you don't like fish, I will not force you at all. So Issa did not used to like fish, and we didn't force. In fact, we will buy catfish, grilled catfish. Me and my other children will eat it, and he will say he doesn't want it. He will only eat probably the chips on it, and now he eats it because gradually he sees us eating it, and sometimes he tastes it, and now he feels like, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, like for me, even now as an adult, I still don't eat some things, and I am really, really working on it. But trust me, my kids, I make like practically anything you think that Yoruba people like a household eats, they eat it in this house. Issa doesn't eat egg yolk. Zafira and Ikwa, they eat egg yolk. Those ones don't have problem with eating egg yolk. Egg yolk, I will not force them, because you must eat the other things. Like, I leave allowances. That is what I am trying to say. I leave allowance, but still, if I give you something, if I make it, I'll tell you, I make it with so much love. In fact, some food I don't make it with love because I'm exhausted, but I want you guys to be fed. So that way I tell you, do you know how long I've been slaving in that kitchen, and the food comes out, and the first thing you're telling me is you don't want it. Now apologize and sit down and eat that food. And when I give my kids meals like that they don't really enjoy, I try to match it up. Like, let's say they eat every kind of food, yes, but it's not everyone they enjoy. It's not as if they really enjoy to eat amala, ewedu, or okra. They like okra soup and they like ewedu soup. They like egusi soup. See, my children practically eat everything because that is what I have trained them with. I make all type of soup that, let's say, like a Yoruba household make, because I'm not the type that makes like different soup from different culture, let's say like the Igbo soups and all of that. But they eat like everything like a Yoruba household will eat. But I make sure that maybe if they, that's what I'm saying, that I always interchange. Let's say they eat beans yesterday, I might decide not to give them swallow today and make rice, because that is what I actually intend to make today. I intend to make like rice and a nice stew with plantain to like I just mix it up. And that way my kids can actually go to my cousin's house and be okay, because they are not picky eaters. They will go to their grandma's house, they will be fine. It is just like, I feel like I used to always say something, I'm a mom, but I want to rest. Like, I don't know how to say it, like, first see me. Like, I just don't want to be exhausted most of the time. I don't want to be thinking, oh, this child will not eat this food, this child will not eat that food. Like, you guys, thank God for the kind of person I married. If not, the only thing we'll be eating in this house is 3 food. These children that we raise to be picky eaters in future, they will either have like they will always have like an effect on their family. I know a family friend of mine, because their dad doesn't eat some type of food, the mom doesn't see the need to cook it, because if she cooks it, she has to make something else for him. So that way they don't eat those things, and their children don't eat those things as well. And me, I cannot make another food for another person, because you eat what I give you. Because even me, no, and one thing I try to do again is I try to eat whatever my kids are eating, even if I am like, when I know that what they are going to eat this evening is not something they really like, or they really, human beings, even though they eat everything, it's not everything they like, okay? I try to eat with them so they see that they're not the only one. It's not like it's a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's food that all of us are eating. So why would you think that eating is punishment? Like my kids, I know they do this thing a lot, where maybe that day we are eating semo and ewedu, and they tell you, no, I'm full, I had all my food in school, I cannot eat plenty. Then you serve them a bit and they finish eating it, and then they ask you for conflicts. I will not give you that conflicts. I will not give you that conflicts, because you did not eat enough food. If you want more food, I will give you. That is just the way I bring up my own children, because I don't want to bring up children that are picky eaters. I grew up as a picky eater, and it was so exhausting, so tiring, even to myself, because sometimes when I started eating those food, I was like, Aisha, you did not die. The food did not do anything to you. So what's the big deal? Why couldn't you eat this food all this while? It's a very, very different thing. I know someone that is allergic to amala. If she eats it, she vomits a lot, and she start having rashes under her eyes. That is allergy. But I don't see any reason why you shouldn't eat something that is edible and is what all of everybody in your house is eating, and because you don't like it. So you guys, there's something else I do to make my kids eat their food even though they don't like it, but I know that the food is good for them, is I always praise them. Like, I do high five, good job, oh, you finished your food, oh, big power. Actually, bad. I say big power. But you have power, that is why you finish your food, and you will have big strength because you're a big boy, you finished your food, things like that. And these things, like, they make children eat their food sincerely, like, especially when you put them against each other. First person to finish that food is going to get candy. Oh, the food that they were doing slow motion for. Also, and I have a rule on the dining table: you cannot watch television or tablet. But you guys, I always slack with it. Like, especially when I'm tired, I just say, people should thought you want to eat, just leave me alone. But when I see that they are wasting a lot of time because the meal is not something they really enjoy or something they really like or something they want. And you guys, sometimes I give my children the right, the passage to tell me what they want. I ask them, I give them options. Do you want spaghetti or you want rice? Do you want sweet potato or you want Irish potato? Do you want amala or you want semo? Do you want eba or you want... And my children will always say eba. They like eba. Even I myself, I like eba. I am an eba girl. I love eba so much. But yeah, I always give them that. Like, it makes them feel like, oh, we are the one that asked for it and we must eat it. So it's not something like... I'm forcing it on them, but I'm not forcing it on them as well because I gave them the right to say which one they want. You guys, with everything I've said and you guys that have heard me say, is that yes, I don't want to raise picky eaters, but I try to encourage my kids to eat what I give them and let them know the act of gratitude. If I give you food does not mean that you have to tell me you don't like it. I know this topic is a very, very it's a topic that not everybody will agree with what I'm saying, but this is what I do, and it has really helped me. Like, I can leave my children to go to my sister's house and I'll not be worried because everything you give my children, they will eat it. So far it's good and doesn't look dirty, or where they made it is not dirty, because my children are very particular about the environment they eat their food. If a place is dirty, they will tell you, Mommy, no, I can't even drink water here, it's dirty. That's a very, very different thing from being picky eaters. That is just them being very aware and knowing that they cannot eat in gutter, because some people's houses are gutter. And my children, they hardly even ever go to like people's houses that they are not family. So I cannot really say how they would do in, like, let's say like a stranger's house. We don't go there, but my children know not to collect things from strangers. Like, even when you give them something, like, no, thank you, I don't want it, with a smile. And yeah, so that is just it. I'm not going to be raising picky eaters. I have one that has prospect of being a picky eater, and by God's grace, I am working on it, because he is not going to be a picky eater on my watch. There are men that are picky eaters, and because of that, the meal arrangement in their house is terrible, because women, we are tired most times. Because your husband doesn't eat a meal, you will not make it, and your children loses out of it. To an extent, all these our meals that these children are refusing, they are nice, and there are ways for parents to infuse all these things in your meal if you don't have strength. On days that I don't have strength to force them to eat their veggies, I steam them and I blend into pepper mix for them. On days that I don't care, you have to eat it, because you have to learn to eat your veggies. You have to learn to eat your veggies. I put them like that in the meals, and you must eat it, because I'm going to give you incentives. Like, I don't know, some parents are like, no, don't give children incentives because you want them to do some things. But in some cases, not all the time. Like, do it, I'll give you candy. Do it, I'll give you Mentos. Do it, I'll give you this, And yeah, that is how I have been able to cope with being a mom of 3 children that have different personality, and I'm just trying to make sure that they don't end up being picky eaters like myself. I'm still really working on it. There are sometimes that these children eat some food and I'm just praying that happiness doesn't remember to put my own, so that I'll say, oh, you not put my own, oh, that's why I will not eat. And that's a lie, because I'm still a picky eater, even though. But yeah, I'm working on it as well. And yeah, that's it. I know I've been rambling, but I just hope that you guys get the point. That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you enjoyed watching this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Please like this video, please share, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.